Jujitsu, when I hit you, then I split you. Jujitsu, when I hit you, then I split you.
So player.
What is going on?
Also known as, put some respect on it. Now it's Professor.
Yeah.
True God's black belt.
I'm a professor now.
True God's black belt.
I'm a professor now.
Nice.
So
That's all right.
whatever that means. It's
Black
so
on
weird
black.
going into the gym. People, oh dude, I was thinking about that. I had like my black roll junkie gi, and then you got the black belt on there. I'm like, I'm only wearing black gis for the rest of my jiu-jitsu career.
That's
like,
cool.
That's it.
Take it. But that really does pop on the white, so it's nice.
I know it does. Yeah, especially that one roll junkie, the white and black one. Yeah, but that gi's like yellow now, so I gotta like bleach that bad boy.
Yeah, I know.
It's so gross. That's been like my long standing. That was like my go to for a couple of years, and now it's like I'm like it looks rank.
It's like your battle gi.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe if there's like another one in stock, I'll just buy a new one.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I got the black on black too.
Yeah.
So
I saw it. I saw it.
I know.
Yeah.
But my belt's like starting to fall apart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, might have one of those
Christ.
roll junkie belts.
See this shit,
Randy? Damn it!
See this shit right in the middle of the podcast, walking in. I know.
Randy, we're like 2 hours in. We got to start over.
Yeah, we're like 2 hours in. We got to start over, Drew said. Yeah, my sister flipped me off, so that's pleasant too.
Oh, it's very ladylike.
Oh, I know, right? So, yeah. So Drew got his black belt, everybody. So congratulations to Drew.
I did get my black belt. Yeah, people, call me professor when I'm walking to the gym today. And then I had like 2 or 3 people like ask me to roll. I'm like, oh, can I like not ask you to roll? I was like, yeah, like fuck that.
It's different. People treating you differently.
I fucking hate it, man.
In a good way, I guess.
yeah. It's like
first time in life, right?
yeah. People, I don't know. It's strange. It's only been like 24 hours, so I'm like, okay.
No, it's good, man. Congratulations. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. It's so interesting now because I was just kind of like looking at videos. I'm like, all right, like because people are asking me, even when I was talking to Oscar. Like we're like looking at each other with our black belt on, and we're like, all right, well now
what's next?
Now what do we do?
All right.
Do we take like 6 months off or something or whatnot? And then even him and I rolled today, and him and I are like rolling, and it just felt so weird because both of us are having like a nice like controlled roll, not trying to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, am I rolling like a black belt? Am I doing it right? Like,
I know the weird things that go through your head once that happens, right?
Yeah,
dude, it usually happens too. You get a new belt, and you're like, yeah. Then you get burked by a lower belt, and you're like, son of a bitch.
Dude, this white belt went fucking ham on me today.
Bro, I told you, like, welcome to my world. There's never an easy roll left ever in your entire life unless you're training with like another black belt that's like, oh, my knees are decrepit like me. And you're like, let's just go easy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and the thing would piss me off more is it's like we drilled for the entire class. It was like my drilling partner. And then like training starts, and like he was asking me all these questions, and like I was helping him, and then he tried to take my head off, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I just tried to help you. I literally just tried to give you guidance, and you just tried this is my payback.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. This is what I've been trying to tell you the whole time. This back alley bullshit of everybody trying to murk you all the time.
Dude, I was content on being like a brown belt for like the next 5 years. Just riding it out. But I don't know. But it's different, man. Like you think about it too. There's like it comes with like the I guess there's like the responsibility now because you've attained this level.
What's Spider-Man? What do they always say in the comic book? With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. So there's like that, and I also think about it too. Like now like Cornell had messaged me, and he's like this is a long time coming. Like you deserve this. Like you're truly a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but you're also a black belt in life. But now it's like that goal. It's like clearly I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but now like how do I take that methodology and like take it over to life? Like everything I do, like you'll think about like, what would a black belt do in this situation and things like that. So there's this whole new thought process that I'm in now. Like, how can I share knowledge and whatnot, and how can I ensure that I'm helping other people become black belts. Like, because it's like the goal now. Like, I still want to be competitive and do things like that, but at the same time, it's like now there's that aspect of bringing up all those other folks.
Fuck them. True sound.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, True sounds all eloquent and shit. I'm like 20 years into this grind of teaching people. Fuck them. No,
you know what? I say that now,
no,
but like come Friday, some lower belt's gonna try to murk me. I'm like, all right, fuck this shit. I'm gonna heel hook you in the gi.
Yeah, in the gi, and I hope you cry. Yep, I know.
So yeah, so is that. So we'll see. We'll see how this new journey goes.
You'll be fine. You'll fit right into it. You're a good human being. I mean, that's the other thing too, is like a lot of times people look at black belt in a certain situation, skill, like especially a lot of younger guys. And, I think a lot of like the sport watchers and stuff like, oh, black belt, he's made it. He'll kill everybody. Like, for me, like just coming from the traditional martial arts, there's a lot more characteristics that go behind being a black belt than skill. I mean, skill obviously is number one. I'm not going to give anybody a black belt. And this is the other thing. I'm not giving black belt. You earn a black belt. You know what I'm saying? So maybe a better way to say it is when I present you your achievement, it should already feel earned. And it should, I mean, nobody ever, you always feel like, oh, I don't deserve this, but that's just, your humility and your humility in your body saying like, oh, be humble and everything else. But I mean, it also comes with character and personality, like you're a good human being, Oscar's a good human being. I mean, from what I know of Jerome, he's a decent human being, but like, I know you and Oscar on a personal level and a low level. And that's like type of person that you want to have that, that status of black belt, because like we said, black belt, then other people look up to you, and some people use that for good, some people use that for evil. We've been seeing a lot of shit going down through the jiu-jitsu waves about using some things like that.
And I think about that, and I watch now that I'm even before it was black belt, I watch how people conduct themselves, how they run their schools, how they run their programs, not just adult but like kids. And I see like your environment. I'm like, all right, I'm like, this is how you do it. Like, this is how you run. This is how you create like a vibe. This is how you create like environment. I think about it, like, this is what I'm. Yeah, like
it's
this
a
is
culture.
What I'm trying to. This is. That's what I'm trying to like eventually get to a point. Like say in some point in time, like I own my own gym. Like I want to make sure that this is a safe space. Like everyone could come here and train. It's a positive. Everyone can get away from the daily grind and whatnot. Not just adults, but it's also children. Like, you have young kids. I have young kids. Like, you want to create that environment with your wrestling or with this jiu-jitsu.
It's a good culture and a good community.
Yeah, and like you have like.
Don't say safe space. I hate that fucking word, safe space.
You have this little box.
Okay, that's
box. That's it.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
But you want to have that environment where it's just like an environment of growth. Everyone's growing together. Everyone's grinding. Everyone's like, you got friends for life. Like, I've been training, you've been training jiu-jitsu in martial arts for years. So you have people, that you've known for years, that you've met through martial arts, that those are it. Those are like your day ones.
Yep.
Like, like even like, Paul Sullivan, and I, we started training together, like martial arts together. So we kind of like came up through, even though we trained different schools, we came together and like we were messaging each other because he got his black belt thing. Now I got mine. Like, it's crazy kind of, he's like someone who's been like a friend for life for me.
Yeah. No, you respect the journey.
Yeah. And you see people like, kind of come in, like kind of try it and like quit, but then you see the people stick with it. And now we're at the point where like, we're black belts now.
Yeah. Like, we're 1%ers. We're 1%ers, like outlaw bikers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's fucking awesome, man.
I know you're 1%er now, brah.
So I see all these positives that it's given me, and I see like this great environment, and I want to create that. So it's like now, unfortunately, you're seeing all these things come up with all these different schools, especially like these sports affiliates with all these sexual assault of like young children and girls, and you're thinking like, what the fuck, man? I was like, black belt,
I gotta tell you something. This is nothing new in the martial arts community, because like especially karate in the early 70s and 80s and 90s, like there's like this is like the, you know, the untalked about gross side of some martial arts instructors, etc. Because I personally know people that have gotten in trouble for that, known that. My one instructor went to jail for it when I was a kid. I was helping him run his school. I didn't know, and he ended up, you know, molesting a boy. You know, I guess he was gay, but he ended up messing with a boy that was the same age as me when I was a little kid. So the same time he was, it could have been me. It could have been me that close because I was traveling with them just as much. But dude, and then I was teaching for him when I got older, and all of a sudden one day he didn't show up, and me and my other buddy who came up the, you know, the ranks with me, like we've been training together since we were 5, and we were running his school, and we were 22, 21, you know, 18, 19, whatever it was, where you know, he's the head instructor, we're the assistant instructors, but we're pretty much running the show, you know. And all of a sudden one day he didn't show up, and then the next thing you know, boom, 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 we got the paper calling us and everything. We're like, what the fuck is going on? We always thought Bobby was like, you know, he was gay, or like maybe even just like a little weird, like didn't even like, you know, what do they call it, asexual, like you don't care. So we always thought that, but then that shit came out, and I was like, oh shit. But there was a lot of guys that came out of the school, and then, you know, when it comes out, he was molested by the guy from the head academy school for martial arts over there. And it's like, this has been a, you know, a thing that goes on with it. I don't know, you know, it's like one of those things too, where it's like teachers do it and all that other stuff because they can put themselves in those areas where, you know, you're supposed to be there, and there is vulnerable people that are trying to get better. I mean, that's just a predator. That's a predator. That's all it is. They interject them. You're like, you know, you're like, oh, you find out that this guy's like rape, or girls like rape like little kids, and they're like, you know, a toddler preschool teacher, because they surround themselves with easy targets, you know?
It's disgusting, man. Because I remember, like, you know, traveling and like moving in different locations and training at different schools. I used to always like kind of hear about it, like here and there, like not like in like droves, but like one year be like, oh, did you hear like so and so was rolling with this person and like touched them inappropriately and they got kicked out? I'm like, what? I'm like, that's like a one-off scenario.
I know.
As I started coming up the ranks, it was like I started hearing about it more and more, and I'm just like, fuck, like really, like,
dude. I mean, it's tough with jiu-jitsu too, because you are in compromising positions all the time. So like, you know, that's why, like, I know a lot of, you know, just from a guy's aspect, a lot of guys don't like to roll with girls because they're like, I don't know where to put my hands. I don't know what to do. And then girls get pissed and they're like, just fucking treat me like an equal. But then, like, I think, you know, like you get it from both sides. Like a guy, you're like, I don't, especially like you got like 13-year-old kids rolling with 16-year-old girls, and they're like you're a 13-year-old kid, you got boner all the time. You know what I'm saying? So like now you put him with a cute 16-year-old girl, and he's like, I don't know what to do. You know?
And I feel like I've seen that, you know, especially like other schools, like, you know, people are kind of like nervous. You got a guy who outweighs a girl by like 50 pounds. He's like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna hurt. I don't want to do anything. And you're like, okay, that's okay in that situation, because you're genuinely trying to, in your own way, create like a positive environment. You don't want to do something wrong, and like I get that. That's okay. And I think about that, but then once you see, like, you know, there's people actually who using this environment to create these bad situations, or, you know, essentially be predators. You're just like, this is like, I feel like for most people, like this is like you, like the mat or gym, wherever, that's like the one place for most people they can kind of escape, you know.
It should be.
So
it should be.
You're right.
But
so
you know, I mean, I think this is, you know, a problem in bigger academies, you know, small academies too, but like bigger academies, it's hard to police the mass. And I'm not defending anything that went on. I'm just saying, from being an academy owner, you can only have your head so many places at a time. And you start like, you know, relying on your, you know, your staff and team members to, you know, carry some of that load and expect them to bring it back to you. Like, oh, this happened, that happened, so on and so forth. Because I mean, there's been even times where like I'm not in there, and maybe somebody's rolling, they get hurt. And then also I'm like, yo, I haven't seen this guy in 2 weeks. They're like, oh yeah, you know, Bob fucking popped his knee last week. I'm like, why did you tell me? Like, so I can follow up and do this and do that. And like, you know, my guys are just like, I didn't know. And then, you know, and then all of a sudden now that the guys know, like, you know, it's like, you know, incident report, stuff like that. So this way, like, we just know. And then it's also one of those things where it's like, not covering your ass, but like, you know, being able to keep them involved, because I've had people that got hurt and still like show up and sit on the side of the mat because they don't want to miss out on being in, because they like the community and the culture and the vibe of our gym so much. They're like, I'll sit here with a broken arm. It's better than sitting at home with a broken arm. I want to be around the guys or the girls or whatever it is. My kid's training with a broken arm right now. He's a fucking animal. He's an animal.
Dude,
rookie of the year wrestler.
Kid's got zero quit.
Dude, he does.
Man.
I know he does.
Man. That's awesome.
I know he has zero quit. He really does. That's just in him. That's in him. Like I try to instill certain things. Like, you know, each one's different. You know, my older one, he's like very, you know, he's a little timid, but like he's tenacious. And once he gets out there, he's like front. He does everything, and he listens and he's focused. My middle ones, he's like, like catching butterflies and eating them and licking windows. But when he does do something, he's usually pretty good at it. Like it might take him a while, but then then he gets it. Baby. Yeah. Baby's just the baby. You know the baby. Yeah. He's just gonna be I think like we could just give him a knife and throw him in the woods. He comes back with a wolf hat on. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I know. Doesn't even know how he did it. He just did it. Like, you know. Shank you. Yeah. So I mean, on that point, but I mean, listen, we know people locally that have been instructors and started, you know, basically grooming somebody since they were, you know, a certain age, and then started dating them at age 17, 18 or whatever it was. And, you know, and they're our age. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? It doesn't, I mean, I see that. I'm like, why? Why are you doing that? But then there's been people that let people, you know, like let them teach at other schools. And like, you know why he got kicked out of school. Yeah. Why would you bring him in? Why would you bring that, you know, him or her or whatever it is? Why would you bring that into your academy? That cancer? Like, it's a cancer. Like, it's not like a one and done. Like, if they have that mentality or they're able to cross that line, you don't think they're going to be able to cross that line again, especially if they didn't get in trouble when they should have been. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I always think too, like on like my end, especially like now, you know, still, you know, I'm always like a student, but I think too, it's like, I know on my end, and I feel like maybe this kind of relates to other students as well. It's like, especially your academy, you should be doing or trying to at least do your part to ensure that you're creating a positive environment, like, you know, for everyone, inclusive, not just, you know, not just guys, not just children, but also women too. Because like I said, like as you're creating that environment, the environment grows. In what sense? So, you know, a lot of people don't know that, but a lot of people aren't sure how to create that positive environment. Like I said, we get people who are like, oh, I don't know if I can roll with this person or that person. I get bigger. It. Well, I'm also a big proponent of like, you shouldn't be banging your students. Really? I'm just saying, what? I've had some hot students, good looking students when I was a kid, like moms, like I was younger. I wasn't a bad looking guy. Like moms would come after me, and like, that's just one line I've never crossed. Yeah, you know, like it just creates a weird vibe. I don't even like students dating in my school, because what happens? They start dating, they're having a good time, they're both good people, they both came to training for a reason, and I get it, and it's fine. Yeah. But then when they break up, what happens? I lose 2 students. Yeah. That's what happens every time. It's not like one stays and one goes. They're both like, oh, it's weird now. You know? Yeah, it's like great, awesome. Yeah. You can't just put that aside for a little bit and like come train. And I'm not saying that like I haven't had people that dated in the school or you know, hooked up or whatever, like over, you know, the course of 20 years. I mean, you know, there's a lot of young good. Well, that's like CrossFit gyms. They're like notorious for like swingers events, you know, like all the time. That's so weird. That's why I'll never do CrossFit. Nope. No CrossFit for me. Well, dude, I hear it all the time from people. They're like, well, because you know what it is? It's a bunch of people that were either out of shape and got in shape, and now they just like literally like peacock around the gym. I've never, like, we do grappling. I've never seen people work out with less clothes than a CrossFit gym. Yeah, undies. Like, undies. Underoos. Like, I don't even let you guys walk around like if there's like parents there and stuff with no shirt on. Like, I'm like, keep your fucking shirt up, bro. They're like, there's kids and women here. I mean, end of the day, Saturday, we're the last class there. Yeah, whatever. Peel it off. I don't give a shit. But like, come on, man. Like, they walk in and they're just like, and then roll their shoulders up. Whether it's a dude, like the ball sacks, like the old OP shorts are hanging out the bottom. Oh, yeah. Or the girls, they wear those booty shorts that like they do a squat and you see their fucking labia. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck, right? What are you doing? How are these even functional?
How are
I
they
don't-
even? They're
I
not
don't
even
even
doing
know.
anything.
I'm not into chicks with bigger
Yeah.
necks than me, so nah, it's not my gig.
Yeah.
Not into dudes
I
that
don't
have
know,
bigger necks than me either.
Dude, speaking of necks, man, I went to go get fitted for a tux for a wedding, and the guy's like, and this has been my problem. The guy, like, he measures my waist. He's like, all right, normal.
Yeah.
Measures my chest, measures my arms. He's like, all good. Goes to throw the tape on my neck. He's just like, Jesus, bro. I'm like, what do I do about this? He's just like, I don't know. I'm like, really? There's no special shirt for this? He's like, get a custom shirt. I'm like, I'm not paying $100 for a fucking shirt, dude. Like, come on.
That's what happens to me all the time. I haven't been able to button the top button, and then when I got fitted for my sisters, my neck grew an inch.
Yeah.
It's just getting
What
fatter.
do?
I don't know what's happening. It's just getting thicker. I don't know. So then they ordered me the shirt and the vest and everything, and I looked like the fucking like a zoot suit. Like I was out there like dude, like roaring 20s.
That was the thing. I asked the guy, I'm like, what do I do about the neck? He's like, go get the collar extenders. So he gave me a collar extender.
That don't
he gave
work.
me one.
Don't work. I need 4.
He had to link them all together like a chain.
Yeah, daisy chain them.
And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit, man. He's just like, all right, well, just don't button it and just make the knot on the tie bigger. I'm just like, okay.
That's my MO. And then you just got to keep going.
Yeah, you got to keep adjusting every time.
Yeah, as soon as it's party time, you're just like, woo.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
Oh yeah. As soon as the formalities are done, ties fucking loosened up like
dance
Mad Men
off
style. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, man, I was when I was thinking about stuff in the environment, there's the students that are actively trying to do that, but then I also feel like I look at instructors too, and I feel like you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but the instructors is almost essentially the North Star, you know what I mean?
Should
That's
be
kind of like where everyone.
He's the general of the army most of the time. But dude, I've also seen how many times have you seen the fucking what they call it, the lunatics taking over the asylum?
Oh yeah,
because I've seen that too. Especially even when I used to train more fighters and younger guys, they come in and then they get comfortable and then they make it oh, it's their place, and they just start taking shit, your waters, your gloves, your this, your that. And it's like, bro, this is a business, and they just think it's their clubhouse, frat house. I ran my school like that for a while, and it wasn't good. And once I turned the ship around, it's like, oh, this is better. So I don't train fighters anymore.
Yeah,
I always say it. They're like racehorses. They cost you the most to feed. They take the most time from you, and they might break their fucking leg coming out of the gate.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. And nothing wrong if that's what you want to do. I mean, I still help people. I'll train them to fight if they want to fight, but it's not my priority.
Yeah.
Unless you have guys that are at an elite level making serious cash and you're getting a fucking chunk, it costs you money to train them. And then they're like, oh, well, I did this for you. What the fuck you do for me? Take my time? Take my time, try to cut me on tuition because you don't have a job because you're trying to be a fighter, professional or amateur. You cost me money. I got to pay for a license. I got to pay for travel. I got to pay for hotels. I got to take time away from my family, everything else. And you're doing me while I'm fighting for your school. Whatever, bro. I'll fight. You came into me. I didn't come to you and you're going to be a fighter and pull you off the street and promise you the world. You came to me and you're like, I want to do fighting. And I'm like, okay, I'll teach you how to fist fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm good. No thanks. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll stick to jiu-jitsu. It's all right.
Whatever.
Don't have time for that shit.
I know it should be, but I mean, I guess a lot of people are going after Cyborg and Wagner Rosha.
Yeah, you're starting to see. I think you're seeing all the affiliates chime in. But what I'm gathering, and who knows, maybe I'm wrong, but when I'm looking at all the these affiliates and their statements, it just looks like they all just knew it was going on, and they just didn't say anything. They're like, oh, I don't support this. I knew it was going on, but so and so has been doing that for years. I don't support it. I'm like, oh, so you knew this was happening, and you didn't fucking strip him of your flag. He's still running your fucking flag, and he's doing this shit, and then you're not shutting it down. For me, if I had an affiliate and I found that was happening, over, it's done. You can't run my flag. It's done.
Me and Chris Avello, former owner of Sakura BJJ in Dover, but now he's the current owner of Sakura BJJ in Woodstock, Georgia. We have had this conversation multiple times. I think he even posted something the other day and went hard. He's like, I've been fucking talking about this for years. We're supposed to be the safe space. We need to be calling these guys out. Everybody talks about oh, if this was my daughter, I'd beat their fucking heads in. Why are we not beating these guys' heads in? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like I said, it's like a dirty little secret that's been around, and like like I've seen it. We've seen it happen locally.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
that
even
motherfucker's still
Tom
floating
LeBlanc,
around teaching.
yeah, like Tom LeBlanc like put a statement out there. He's like, oh, you know what the penalty is for touching kids? Death. That's it. He's like, here's my address. If you got a problem with it, he's like, that's the penalty for touching kids. That's it.
Yeah, I get it. Well, do you think? I mean, and then I've seen this argument growing up, but like, I mean, this is also has to be taken into consideration. I'm not condoning this at all, but like the Brazilians, like down there, I think the age of consent is like 14, and
wow.
yeah, that's what I think. If you look it up in Brazil, it's like the age of consent's 14. I think in Florida, it's like 17. In New Jersey, it's 16. Doesn't make it right or wrong. And I don't know what they said when they were having a relationship. She was 16 and he was 21 or 22.
Yeah, he was trying to keep talking about the age differences, and I was like, dude, don't.
Yeah, but he was also like
shock.
her. So, all right. So, how old is that? So, he's been like since she was 10, he was probably like what, 15? Because then if she was 16, then he was 21. So, when he was like 15 years old, she was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
Weird. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could have been in high school together if they were shifted, right? Because that's always where it gets weird too. And I'm like I said, I'm not condoning this, but it always gets weird. Like if you're a freshman and your boyfriend or girlfriend's a senior, you're 14, they're 18. You've seen that, right?
Oh yeah, you've seen that in like.
But but does the slide? But you can't do the sliding scale either. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like what?
Even like that math a little bit.
But
even, like,
getting to my point, like they're Brazilian, that they're from down there, and it's age of 14. So like even like I guess for like their academy owners and stuff like that have been here, like it's not that far off for them. Like I don't even think like in culturally it registered in their head how bad what was happening was.
Yeah.
And like I said, not defending. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Because if they're like, oh, well, down in Brazil, like everybody bangs 14-year-olds. You're like, what?
Yeah, it could be a cultural thing, but it's just
fuck. You go over to Afghanistan right now, they bang 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds, and that's okay. That's part of their culture. Yeah. What did they say? We were talking about it on the other podcast last night because Steve was over there. I'm like, they bang like boys and shit like that. And he's like, yeah, they say over there, like boys are for pleasure, girls are for procreation. But that's like that's part of their culture. Like that's fucking crazy. And he was like, dude,
skin crawl.
Dude, me too. But Steve was like, yep. And we were told to stand down because that's their culture. Like,
yeah.
Like, and we have kids and shit. Like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
What, do you think the parents knew this was going on? Like, how did this get blown up?
I think it was the actual victim was reported it, like finally reported it to somebody else. It wasn't.
Were they like
then that
dating,
person, like, blew
or
it
were
up.
they like? I don't know.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember like the whole like story. It was just like one person was told, and that person just told everyone, and now it's just blowing up.
Because this happened a while ago, I think, right? And it's just like coming back like to fruition.
Yeah,
now,
they were talking about like a number of like
and all that other shit,
like jujitsu camps, like shit was happening there and whatnot, and yeah, it's
dude. Listen, they're scum and everything. We've talked about that too.
Yeah, it equally terrifies me and just like makes my blood boil at the same time. Like,
I concur.
It's you're just so scared, especially nowadays with small children. You're doing everything you can to protect them, but then at the same time,
well, you think you're bringing them into a safe place and you're doing the right thing, giving your child confidence and learning these things and learning how to protect themselves, and then the person that's supposed to be doing that is like murking them and doing dirty things to them. Not cool.
Yeah. So it's you can't get it all the time, and as a parent trying to
you got to stay vigilant
with the tools. Yeah.
Well, especially as an instructor, like you have to stay vigilant. Like, but if you hear about that shit too, you cut that shit. You fucking do whatever you gotta do right away. Not like, oh, I don't want to look like I have a bad name. Like, push it up. I'd rather fucking attack it head on and just kill it and say, yeah, we had a problem and I fucking handled it. Than like, oh yeah, we had a problem. I handled it and swept it under the rug.
Yeah.
Because it's scary.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
like as a business owner, I'm just saying from business owner's aspect, you're like, oh shit, this happened under my roof and I didn't know, and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. I mean, like
Yeah.
literally, I mean, I could just say as business owner, like I have martial arts insurance, and like one of the big premiums is like sexual assault cases. It's like on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like if you want coverage, somebody wants to accuse you of it, whether you did it or not, or vice versa. Like if I guess I know there's scumbags in the industry. Like, okay, well then they need that.
Yeah. Shit.
So I mean, knock on wood, I don't purchase that because I'm not a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
But
it's yeah, and I don't know, man. I mean, like anytime I'm out and about, like with my girls, like anytime I take her to the park, and I'm always like, maybe it's just from like martial arts training, but I'm always on fucking high alert,
vigilant, head on a swivel.
Yeah, I'm always like if she's running on the jungle gym and like she disappears for a second, dude, I'm fucking sprinting, be like, I can't see you. If someone's walking around the park and they don't have a kid with them and they look like they're doing something weird, I'm thinking like, you're always
you gotta
at some
be,
point in time.
yeah, but it's like you also can't drive yourself crazy because you got to be at the point too where it's like
Well,
you can't be a helicopter parent.
Well, that's the thing. You always say like, am I hovering, like this and that? Like it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. But it's just, it was once I was kind of like reading that, I was just like, fuck, man, because there was like that, and like even that coach from like the Olympics for like 20 plus years.
Yeah, dude. What about that fucking Penn State? That coach was like having like underprivileged boys at Penn State and was banging them some dusky.
Yeah. So you hear all that, and I'm like, dude, like what?
And they knew about it. Like that's the other thing. Like you're a coach, and that guy's been doing that for that long. Like why would you just not get rid of him? Like he was that great of a coach.
Yeah.
Like you didn't win the national championship every year there, Joe Paterno.
Yeah. So
oh, dude, listen, it happens in all the fucking. Look at all the goddamn priests.
Yeah, all that shit too.
Yeah, it's everywhere. That's why I'm saying if something ever happens and anybody really opens their goddamn eyes about all this child sex trafficking, I think that's what's going to bring us all together. We're so divided right now, but if that shit pops and you really, really realize who's involved with this shit, I think it will bring the country together.
Yeah, I think that's
because that's one thing. Like every decent human being doesn't fuck with kids.
Yeah, I think you and I talked about this enough. It's like as divided and as different as someone's ideals are, whether it's their race, religion, like anything. There's at least whether they have kids or don't have kids. There's that aspect. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't mess with kids.
Yeah,
someone who even like a young kid who doesn't have kids could be like, yeah, I don't have children, but that's not okay. Like,
dude, even the worst of the worst criminals don't fuck with that. That's
dude, the pedophiles when they go to jail, they just get fucking murked.
That just shows at all levels of society. Like it's not good.
Yeah, I remember seeing one of those like jail time videos where they're interviewing. It was a guy who he was in jail, and his cellmate was a pedophile. And he found out, and he kind of like befriended him. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we're friends," and then later just fucking murked him. And they had him in court because they were extending his his sentence, and then like, well, what happened? He's like, oh yeah, he was like, I found out he was a pedophile, and like I told him how he did it and like how many victims he had, and he ran through the whole thing. And he's just like, yeah, so I just waited till he fell asleep. I just pulled him off his bed and I just beat him to death. And it's so strange, like when you looking around the room at the people, like like the cops that are in there and watching, like no one had like a look of like disgust. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, yeah,
cool,
yeah. They're like, okay.
You get one more year.
Like, yeah. So
no life in prison. You get one more year. Actually, you know what? We're gonna give you a year credit. You're out tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a laptop and Netflix now. But yeah, but it's like
some
you hear that
mac
it's like
and cheese. None of that top ramen no more.
the Easy Mac with a little microwave just in case.
Yep.
But yeah, you see it like anytime you see it in like the movies or anything else, like you hear like a pedophile go to jail, but dude, they gotta put him in like solitary because they know if they put him in Gen Pop, like he's like they're gonna kill him. Like
Gen Pop, like you're fucking on Oz, bro.
Yeah. See, I know stuff. I sound like I'm educated and stuff. Look at this motherfucker talking about Gen Pop. What are you talking about? Some treat you get at the movies? What are you talking about? Gen Pop over here. General population.
Yo,
man.
what up, Thug Life over there? Yo, I didn't know I was rolling like that with that, bro. What's up, Thug Life? How you doing over there, Slim Thug?
Yeah, let me just flip my gold teeth real quick. Hold on a second.
Oh, you got girls? Sweet.
No, fuck that, man.
No, no, I can't do it either. Can't do it. Oh, wow, wild fucking times. But once again, yo, congrats on the black belt, my man.
I know, man. It's fucking. I think about everything, and it kind of it brings you back because look, I got my brown belt, and then lockdown was like 2 weeks later, and then I was at your school, shooting content for your online classes, and like somebody had asked me, they're like, oh, like how long do you have your brown belt? I'm like, dude, like a year and a half.
Brown belt usually,
we.
It depends. Brown belt goes quick. Like I only had my brown belt for a year.
Yeah,
I had my purple belt for a long time, but I only had like my brown belt for like a year and a half, belt. And black belt. Yeah, purple belt. I think purple belt should be the longest belt. That's when you're in the trenches. You're in the gutter.
Oh yeah, you're fucking experimenting like a motherfucker. You're just trying everything, man. Like you gotta
making your game. You're making your base.
Yeah, I got it. Like I think I had like traveled for work like that next week, so I didn't even train, and then I started hearing like lockdown. And I'm just like, all right. I'm like, yeah, I think I got maybe a week of training of solid training, and then fucking closed. And even then, it's still kind of like spotty. It was spotty. So yeah, it was a year and a half like training, kind of no competing, no nothing. Like I thought about it still. I never got to compete at brown belt. So
yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You're an advanced student.
Yeah, I guess.
Listen, be happy.
I'm happy.
I know.
It's been a fucking crazy year,
dude. It's been a crazy. I know that it's been a crazy time, and man, like, listen, you gotta take this little like glimmer of sunshine in the giant dark of shit show storm that is life right now. And the storm that might still be upon us, but I think you take the listen. Now you're definitely prepared for the apocalypse.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's it, man. I got that. So you and I got to get up on the weapons training. I mean, you're good, but I got to get there.
I'm not good. I'm just good enough to hit things.
Well, I got to get there too because
I know. I want to move. I want to move and shoot before they try to take my guns.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I'll fucking Yosemite Sam that shit,
dude. I'm telling you, man. Like, I just want. This is all I need, man. I don't need the handgun. I just need, you've seen Predator. I want the big fucking backpack with the chain, with the gun. That's it. No one's touching you when you have to work with that.
And you want to know the good thing is your neck is now thick enough to carry that weight.
I know. That's what I'm prepared for. It's not you think I'm just out here just fucking pushing weight just for fun?
Shrugging, neck pulls.
I'm getting ready for the backpack with 1,000+ fucking rounds in it, connected to either a saw or a minigun. Just spray it.
I'm in. I think that is an excellent idea, and it is well within your Second Amendment. And don't let anybody tell you any different.
I'm not doing these squats just for fun, man. I'm trying to carry weight, man. That's it.
That's right. Like them thick bitches,
Yeah. Thick thighs save lives, my friend. And that's it, man.
I concur.
Function over here. I'm not trying to fill out a nice pair of short shorts over here.
You got nice legs, buddy.
Thanks, man.
I try today. Yeah, I got nice legs too. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, man. You're doing all right, man. You're keeping in shape. You always complain that you're out of shape, man, but you're doing good, man. You're
good. I've been out of shape for this past month though, because I haven't been able to train, keep getting hurt, and then I just drink all summer. So not all summer, but on the weekends I definitely throw them back. So it is what it is.
There you go.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. So you coming in this weekend?
Saturday.
All right.
Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta.
Perfect.
You have to go on. You have to go in and enroll all those wrestlers. So, yeah.
I know, manimals, whatever. Yeah. They're fun. They're good dudes. So, Also, check out rolljunkie.com.
Roll Junkie.
Promo
Always.
code
I just remembered
2LiveFools.
September should be dropping their ranked rash guards.
Yep.
I'm upset because I just got the new brown belt one, and now I got to get another one. So, I mean, it's not a bad problem to have. But
Yep.
definitely check out the rash guards current mix. Their gis, new black Ascension gi, fucking just mwah.
Wow, yeah,
Sweet.
the shorts,
Like,
the Ascension shorts, the new rash guard, the graffiti rash guard, dope as shit. One of my guys had the whole setup on today. It's like, man, that's fire.
yeah.
Like it.
Dude.
So promo code 2LiveFools, 15% off
There
your
we go.
entire order. Also, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button on our YouTube account, and check us out on Instagram, Facebook, etc.
Yeah, buddies.
So on that note, Drewy, I see you soon. I see you this weekend.
See you Saturday, my friend. There we
Peace,
go.
baby.
Go time.
Go time.
Peace.
Jiu-jitsu, when I hit you, then I split you.